So as you may have seen me mention, I received a copyright strike on YouTube the other day, effectively blocking any live streaming for the next 90 days. The stream was unlisted, so presumably it shouldn't have been visible to anyone, and I didn't do anything I hadn't done several times in the past. But such is the nature of YouTube. I can only suspect that this latest video caused a bit more unwanted attention. The situation reminded me that I'd saved proof of a few similar oddities in the past, examples of YouTube tricks and tactics. Here, you can see that apparently this video was so unpopular it had periods of less than 0 views. This is just one of many, if memory serves. Here's another statistical impossibility. Here's me losing 50 or so subs in the blink of an eye, a culling that seems to happen regularly, and I constantly receive messages about people being unsubscribed. This one was interesting and very strange. After my millennial interview, someone informed me that the likes and dislikes and views were being messed with. So before I refreshed the page this time, I decided to record the screen. And look at that. YouTube magic. So just to reiterate, we're obviously on enemy territory, and they seem to have tossed subtlety to the wind and no longer hiding this fact. Their main goals are to blunt our influence and reach, and starve us of capital. They've developed hundreds of creative ways to keep money out of our hands, and siphon away what we do manage to obtain. The new wealthy class they're seeking to foster is the East Indian or Chinese transplant to Silicon Valley, or that celebrity class that so dutifully sings their tune. And of course, the absurdly corrupt political class and their backers in the financial industry that have always been the biggest benefactors of this rigged circus. It really is a broad-level power play, an attempt at a power transfer from one class to another. Since I recognize the extent of the corruption in our economic system, I developed something of an adversarial relationship to the dollar, to an extreme degree. My fridge and pantry are literally empty as I speak these words, as is the bank account. I live a very strange life. And nobody worry, I won't starve. I'm not in any immediate danger. But I'm probably the poorest person you know. Having experienced the other extreme as well, I'm fully okay with this, as long as I can find some way to continue creating things. I live in the world of ideas, and this could be considered the height of responsibility or the height of irresponsibility, depending on one's perspective. And both stances could be justified from a different subjective standpoint. I used the Jordan Peterson analogy in a previous video with this clean your room quip that does seem to suggest becoming a more efficient and dutiful cog within a corrupt machine. I see our house as on fire. I see a culture being aggressively destroyed, and chaos taking over where order once existed. So I feel incapable of devoting my energy in any other direction. I'm fine with sprinting out of a room cluttered with a few unpaid bills if it means I might play some role in helping put out the fire and save the home. I have a feeling that pristine and sparkling room might mean a lot less to the Jordan Petersons of the world when the flames reach the door. This fight to restore some clarity to our language and our history, to reestablish some firm cultural and ideological foundations, to help return us to our traditions and healthier roots, and prevent this aggressive slide into degeneracy and chaos and spiritual decay, nothing is more important to me, especially as I tend to think that we're in a race against time in this struggle. My goal is to be able to devote my full time and attention to this. The podcasts, videos, the upcoming live stream, and an upcoming book I hope you'll enjoy, but I need your help with this. In the future, not so much, and in fact, once my reach extends a bit further over time and I'm able to cover basic expenses, I'll no longer even post the Patreon or Streamlabs donation links, and will instead focus on raising monies directly for projects like those I've mentioned in the past. But right this very second, from those that can afford to spare, and only those that can afford to spare, it would be immensely useful and appreciated. I feel like there are several things I can do to help hasten our progress and improve our current lot, not because I think I'm so talented, but because I know I have the will to do so. And as soon as my own situation isn't a daily concern, I look forward to devoting my time to aggressively seeking more significant investment to launch the social media platform project mentioned in an earlier video, which I strongly believe could help solve several of our most pressing problems and create a real community free from subversion and providing us some real sovereignty and independence, and allowing us to keep our money in-house and not be at the mercy of other platforms and payment processors. And finally, I will be figuring out a way to launch the new live stream format very soon. I plan to discuss events of the week, dig into the best of my several terabytes large video library to play and discuss clips, and have periodic guests for discussions and interviews. For those interested, I have a link in the description for a backup channel I've created to host this new live stream. And for those who appreciated the Refuge, I'm happy to say I'll be bringing that back as well, to run in the periods in between these live shows. I've been extremely happy with the response to the Refuge, and even more so, the type of people it's drawn in over time. And I'm at least as eager as any of you to keep it running. So, thank you for listening, and a very sincere thanks to those who have already supported the work in any way. I consider you all extended family, and like most of you, I'm looking forward to us someday building a proper home again. I expect someday we'll look back at this period of time as the first infant steps in a profoundly important journey, and there's nothing I'd rather be doing.